Hello everyone, hope you're all keeping well and thanks for all the support with my videos. Today I'm doing a little bit of local history around the Blackpitts area of Dublin, and the building behind me is known as the Maltons, which was a distillery in this part of Dublin 8 for many centuries, and it was taken over in 1916 just for 7 hours as an outpost for Jacob's Mills, which was just up the road on Bishop Street, and it was only used for about 7 or 8 hours during 1916. And a lot of people in the local area were pretty angry that a rising was taking place because many in this area lived in abject poverty, a lot of tenement conditions for people, and a lot of their wives' husbands had gone off and fought in the First World War, and they were then in receipt of a separation allowance. And a lot were angry because of the fact that they were taking on the British Empire here in Dublin. So as I said, that place lasted for about 7 or 8 hours, used for sniper fire during that period of 1916. Now as we walk down towards Blackpitts, as I said, a lot of people lived in tenement conditions around here. Abject poverty was rife, and actually there was barricades set up here as well along Fumballee Lane here in Dublin, just off Clonbrattle Street there up on the distance, and New Street, and the distance would be St Patrick's Cathedral as well. As we take a walk down towards Blackpitts, I'll just explain a few little things around this area. It's changed dramatically in the last few years. This site was supposed to be for a co-living site. Been lying idle for many years, this derelict site, like many around Dublin City, being flipped many times before developers move in and purchase these places and apply for planning permission, then sell it on at extortionate profits. And we see the high-rise student accommodation underneath the old Tenter's pub, and that's back in the distance towards Newmarket Square as well, famous for Teelan's Distillery and many more distilleries in that area as well, which has been heavily gentrified as well in the last few years. But Blackpitts gets its name from a couple of stories behind the names of Blackpitts are interesting, because it gets its name from, some people say, the plague of the 14th century around 1348, where 14 or 15,000 people were killed during the bubonic plague. And there were some stories that this area was used to bury a lot of the people who died from the plague. But the more apt story, I think, is around the tanneries and the black liquid that was used in those tanneries in this area as well, which was renowned for tanneries, woolen mills, weaving. Areas around Tenters would have originated from a lot of people of the Huguenot faith who came here because of the purchase by Louis XIV and the Nantes Edict that goes back to the 17th century, around 1685. And we had the Tenters region as well around here, and people might know the expression tenter hooks. It comes from drying out the tenters and the weaving of this area as well. As we walk around here, I'll show you something else as well interesting. This is Warnemount. This is the convent, the original convent. And there's a national school across the way, back of it there. I'll walk up a little bit further, you can see a bit more of it. That dates back to the late 19th century, early 20th century. Beautiful building. If people have any memories of that, please share them in the comments. And the name comes from Nathaniel Warren, who was sheriff in Dublin and also a Lord Mayor, I think in 1782 in Dublin as well, which is now a community centre. As you can see, we'll just pan around. Part of the original building that was here. Hence we have Warren Mount, interestingly enough. So a lot of history in this area. Part of the Liberties, of course. And synonymous with the working classes of Dublin for many, many years. But as I said, it's got gentrified in the last few years. Seen some penthouses around here go for up to €1.5 million. Astronomical amount of money. Astronomical. As you walk down. Just bring you for a little bit more of a walk. You can see around. And back out further would have been towards Kilbassel Street, which is the main thoroughfare into Dublin City. There we had a factory that was there for many years. Not too sure if it was Glen Abbey or some factory was there, I think, before. It's been repurposed now into apartments. And interestingly enough, there we go. The gates in towards Warren Mount School. My first school, coincidentally enough, when I was 4 or 5 years of age. I think on my first day I tried to run down that hill to get over the gates, but I didn't manage to make it. Funny story, but good memories. Before I went up to Sing Street up the road, not too far away from here as well. As we just stroll up, and we'll see a little bit more on this street as well. An old school again that's been reconditioned. It was a pub for a while, Scholars I think was the name of the pub. And that was another national school. So, interesting history around Blackpitts here in Dublin. Hope you enjoyed the little walk and ramble around with a few interesting points of local history in this area. So thanks for all the shares on my videos, thanks for likes and comments, and really appreciate the support on these videos as well. So from Blackpitts in Dublin, take care. Talk to you all soon. Bye bye.